yet another episode. Well, it's the body and the mind. Life is full of tensions, is it not? For some people it is, for some people it's not. During our younger days, we had the tensions of getting up early in the morning, going to school. Then colleges, you have your own tensions. Then when you grow up searching for a job, there is tension. Then when you get a job or when you start a business, then there is again tension. Then when money creeps in, you have the tension how to handle the money. And there is tension everywhere. Traffic, school, family, so much of things. But really, does tension have an effect on our body? Does it really affect our body? Or in case this tension affects our body, what are the after effects of tension? What is the role of yoga in pertaining the after effects of tension? Can it relieve tension? Can it release tension? Can it curb tension? Let's ask none other than the one and only Mr. Sanjeev. Hello and welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you, Srijit.
So now after the system, now it's the time to talk about tension. It's just like a mobile phone. Always it follows you. So does really tension affect our health or the body, and what is the role of yoga in particular?
Actually, if you observe the root causes of tension, and it has a physical manifestation also. What is tension if you observe? As a small child, when we were all small children, we used to enjoy our games, run around, and everything was enjoyable. Though there was so much of study problems and things which parents may be telling, we always used to take it as a game. So we were not stressed out as such. As we start growing, more and more the pressure starts getting onto you, building up. Then from the stage of a play, it shifts to something like a problem to face. This is where the child shifts. It is said a child, whenever the child is small, it is the pineal glands that operate. And pineal gland always have the natural divine nature. They are very loving. Children, if you observe, they are very loving, much responsibility they take. They are very sincere, compassionate, and all those things they have. Because it is the true nature within that manifests. As the child grows, it reaches the age of 6. What happens is, it is the pituitary gland that takes position from the pineal gland. Pineal gland goes to the backstage. This is the time the child starts observing the external world, observing the nature of the daddy, the mummy, and situations, schools, friends. And even if you tell a child to, sit quiet with their eyes closed, it's very difficult for them. They may be looking all the time like this, because that is the time the datas are getting into them. Now, what all we see in the external world, the pressure, finally it gets onto them. That is where this tension starts. Today, our attitude has developed to such a state wherein we are not able to face situations. We just get upset over things.
And you tend to run away from
We want to get away from this. All are looking for holidays more than the starting of the day, a week, or everything. So basically, if you observe, what is the root causes of tension? Tension is, you are not able to face a difficult situation. In other words, you are not able to manage yourself in a difficult situation. So here, knowledge of how to tackle a situation, or rather understanding the true essence of yoga, is learning the art of management, can help a person to tackle any given situation. This is what it is. To tackle any given situation, the problem is, there is the fourth consciousness, which we call it as the Vijnanamaya consciousness, Vijnanamaya kosha. Vijnanamaya kosha is, today if you observe, all of us, we are operating with a understanding sheath. Our outlook, our parentage, our culture, our education, the experience that we have gained is what determines my acceptance and non-acceptance level. When I am comfortable with a person, or a situation, or a circumstances, it doesn't give me any strain. I am comfortable with it. If you are not comfortable with it, you always have the anxiousness, the agitations within going on, that disturbs your inner peace. So these agitations always have an impact on the system. That's what we say, all the psychosomatic diseases that we are suffering is all related to this state of mind wherein we are not able to cope up with the present situations. Now let us say the modern medicines, if you observe, as I told you, they help us as a crisis management. The problem for the modern man is we do not know how to tackle our day-to-day life. First of all, I do not know my body constitution. About my health, I am not able to understand. So I eat the wrong food, wrong timings, and we land up with plenty of health issues on one side. Second side is I do not know how to properly breathe, how to get the energy or the battery charged in my system, because all other equipment, they need a current to charge. For our body system, it charges on its own according to your food, your exercising, your outlook, your determination, and all those things. So whenever you do not know how to do the proper breathing, your energy level, the intake is less, you eat more, digestion doesn't happen because the current is not there in this. All these are things, that is ignorance on the subject of exercising, food. All these things has a great role to play also in these aspects of having problems today. Take to the mind. Mind is something we are experiencing all the time, sense of perceptions, all the time, here, there, so many things. Someone tells you something, it can get into the system. So the basic thing is, the sense of perception or the mind operates in such a way, we need to understand on a broader aspect, or with a broader perspective. So, for example, you want to go to a place, especially in Dubai, if you see traffic is so much, you get stuck in the traffic, you are disturbed. And you expect the traffic to be, today is Friday, it's smooth, let us think. But the moment you get into the road, you feel it is totally traffic jam and your calculated time is over. So what will be happening? You are tensed up. You are not able to accept that situation that today it has happened like that. The moment you don't accept it, it has an emotional effect on the system. You can get it agitated, frustrated, tensed up. This secretes plenty of chemicals into the system and it destroys the system. That's what we say. The psychosomatic ailment, today the modern system is a crisis management. You do not know what you are doing. You land up, you stretch yourself, tomorrow I'll do exercise, tomorrow I'll take care of my food habits, tomorrow I will do this, let me finish. So you are trading your life for security all the time. In the process, you lose your security for your life. You understood? We want to have some financial health, very good, it is required. But that is not everything. If you do not know how to cut a balance, you are going to destroy it. So, this is one aspect of crisis management. So you land up, stretch and stretch, finally you are in the stretcher, and then you realize of taking care of it. Until then, you are not taking care of it. Now go to the chemicals, the food, the medicines also, if you see, it's an immediate requirement to solve the problem. Immediate requirement to solve the problem means we are taking again synthetic chemicals into the system. So you take medicine, you take it for a liver or a kidney, has an impact, or some other part has an impact. So you are destroying the body because it's an bioorganic magnetic system. Now coming to a little more on Ayurveda, if you see, they are also another form of medicine, and they balance the Vata, Pitta, Kapha, the alkali, gaseous and acidic content. But they don't destroy the system as synthetic chemicals or modern medicine does. You go to homeopathy. Homeopathy also is the best form of medicine because they just have the whole history of the person, what he loves to eat, what he does not like, how is the sleeping habits, how is the motion, everything they check to understand what are the chemical imbalances that the person is having. And homeopathy is a form of medicine where they have taken extracts from various sources, understanding the person's nature of chemical imbalances, and these chemicals are administered into the system.
And brought
back to the chemical balance. Now, how does yoga come into this higher aspects if you observe? In a family, if you observe, one person is having diabetic. There are 6 members, let us say. One is having diabetic, one is having migraine, one is having depressions. Almost the food is the same, situations and surroundings are the same. Why is the disease is different? This is where yoga gets into the highest of health science. Because There are innumerable glands in the body, we call them, laboratories in the body, we call them as glands. Whenever you are happy, or let us say you are in front of your favorite food, you are very, very hungry, you are waiting for your friend to join, saliva will automatically secrete. So any type of situations in day-to-day life you are not able to accept, it disturbs you. There's a secretion of chemicals. You are happy, it is a secretion is there. So continuous, even if you observe the intestine alone, it has 35,000 glands. Stomach has innumerable glands, and some have thyroid problem. It's again malfunctioning of the body metabolism, all triggered by the pituitary gland, which has a malfunction. We only treat the imbalances of the thyroid functions. Here you are helping a person to manage his day-to-day life. So understanding the essence or art of management of how to face a situation, how to overcome the circumstances, and how to accept people. Because certain people you cannot say, he is my brother but I can't accept him. You cannot do that. You have to accept he is your brother. Or you have got married, your wife, suddenly you realize that she is this and that and so many things. But you have to accept it, take the responsibility and do actions to achieve things. But what happens when you are not able to accept, I land up with emotional problems, emotional tensions, and this destroys the system. So the root causes of tension is you are not able to accept things in life. Now let us say the boss is always shouting.
You don't like him.
You don't like him. If you want, can you shout back at him? No. If you shout back at him, job will go. So you are not able to accept him. When you are not able to accept him, what happens is your blood pressure only goes up and down. Now you have to accept him. His duty is to shout. Let him shout. What I can do. But when you do that, you will see that you are much more calmer. And he may also think, what is wrong? This fellow is not even getting agitated. In fact, you have to support the boss because he may be under great pressure. When he is under pressure, it is our duty to support him, not by increasing my blood pressure, by accepting and understanding his problems. This is where in any situations you have to learn to accept things. But acceptance are of two things. You cannot just blindly accept. You may say accept, accept, accept. What is this acceptance? It's not something blind or passive accept. He's telling you accept, okay, accept it. Not that. It is you have to take active acceptance. Now, how can you take an active acceptance? Your mind is operating with clarity and a relaxed state of mind. For example, whenever your friend is in problem, you are the best guide for him. But when we have a problem, I am disturbed because my mind doesn't function. There is no clarity because I am not relaxed. So, first of all, we need to be relaxed. That's why yoga comes in, helps you by way of meditation and things. And whenever you are relaxed, your clarity of thought is there. And by accepting the situation and taking responsibility for the situation and acting upon to achieve is what we need to learn. That is why it's an art of management. So this is where you can nullify the disturbance. We cannot say life is a bed of roses. There are so many challenges in life. As you said, rightly said, when we don't get a job, we are always looking for a job and I'm tensed that I didn't get a job. But when you get a job, then again you are tensed. Why? Because now the job itself has become a burden. What it is said is, every moment if you can take it as a challenge, then every moment is an achievement and a success in life. The same thing you take it as a burden, every moment becomes a stress and a strain. Children, we used to spend so much of our physical energy running around. We are never tired.
Never.
But now, we are not doing that much of physical exercise. But by evening we are exhausted, we are tired. Why? Because we are not acting. Children were acting to achieve and enjoy their life. Today, I am not able to accept a situation or a circumstances. I am reacting to things. And what? It destroys everything. So, in manifold rate of energy loss is happening because you are reacting to situations from morning till evening, not acting to achieve. This is the root causes of tensions and how it destroys the physical body. All the diseases that we are suffering today is psychosomatic, whether it is asthma, whether it is diabetic, whether it is your cholesterol, triglyceride, blood pressure, arthritis, depressions, they're all basically psychosomatic. And psychosomatic in modern medicine is impossible. They can only maintain. Unless and until you go to the source of the disease, it is not, you cannot treat it. And who has to go to the source? I only. Because I know what is my situation. I should know how to accept it. I should know how to manage. Then you are the master. Life is yours, not in others' hands. That's what it is.
Now, tell us the role of yoga in reducing, curbing, maintaining stress, tension.
See, if you see in a simple manner, I would like to say, if Srijit has a car,
Yeah.
you have a car, you give it to a person who does not know how to drive properly. The car can have all types of problems. Painting can go, tinkering has to be done.
I would rather don't. I would never ever give it.
That's what. So you never give it to a person who does not know how to drive. But there is no option, something is emergency and he's a person who has a license, but you have to leave. Now you give it to him, this fellow can do something, but at least he does something. In that state, what I'm telling. Now he can destroy the vehicle, in other words. Second is, you give it to a person who is always rash driving. What can happen to the vehicle? It can have wear and tear very fast. The vehicle will be destroyed again. You give it to a person who is very, very slow in his driving. The vehicle will move accordingly. So, if you observe, the vehicle moves according to the person sitting behind the wheel. Give it to a person who knows how to drive, who knows the rules, who is also balanced in his mind. Yes, the car will be in good condition. But who is the best person to give the car or the vehicle, if you observe, is a person who is a good mechanic. Mechanic is a person who knows the intricate aspects of the functioning of the car. He knows how to tackle whenever any problem rises. The engine he knows, the functioning he knows, the electrical functions he knows. So in other words, you are very, very confident when such a person is behind the wheel. Even when he goes full speed, you know he has control. And if anything happens on the way, you know he knows how to rectify. So we are very, very comfortable or calm in mind. Now imagine if the owner himself is a mechanic. How will the car be? How will the car be?
No.
Fantastic it will be. The owner himself is a mechanic who knows the intricate aspects of the functioning of the vehicle. How will he drive? He knows to be careful. So he's the best person to drive the car. Yoga is a beautiful knowledge that makes every human being the best mechanic in his life. So what happens, whether it is your health problem, your breath problem, whether it is your emotion that is disturbing you, why emotions are getting diseased because of my understanding or acceptance or non-acceptance. And you also know your true nature. So thereby, yoga is the essence of knowledge that helps a person to be the best mechanic in his life. Thereby, he is the master of his life. This is what is the role of yoga in day-to-day life, to tackle any given situation at any given point of time, to any person, any religion, any caste, any nationality, to the whole of human beings in this world. That's why it's a beautiful knowledge.
There was a recent news article which came that especially people in Hong Kong, it was very tough for them. They took a survey in Hong Kong about the working class in the country, and it was a big mess. They said they couldn't withstand the tension going on. So I think the role of yoga should come in a much evident manner in these countries.
Yeah. See, one thing I would like to always say is people have a misconception of yoga. Actually, yoga is not just an exercise. Many have categorized and say this is one form that they are giving, this is another form. Yoga is actually the mind and body coordination. Mind, we say, let us say, in a family, the wife and husband is in harmony. In harmony, the family is in harmony. If the children will be enjoying that life, I would say, mind is the wife and body is the husband.
Right?
Because mental energy, we call it as Prakriti, matter, and Purusha. Prakriti is the mind. If you always see, emotional things always operate with the mind. We always see, ladies, they are always emotional in aspects. The mind is always emotional aspects are there. This is life energy. Now, if you observe, sometimes you want to drink. That is, your mind wants to drink, but your body don't want. Where is your coordination? So, your mind is going on one side to drink, the body does not want to it. So, you are going apart. There is no coordination. Mind wants to enjoy a smoke because it is feeling stressed, but the body doesn't want it. It is destroying. So, there is no coordination between your mind and the body. You understand what I am telling? So, this coordination is what is yoga. It is not just an exercise. It can be achieved through different forms of exercise, but different methodology. But the basic link is, it is the union. So, sometimes even if you see, people are so much engrossed into achieving so many things of the mind, there is no coordination between the body, and you tell them, please breathe. Yeah, breathing. Are you breathing? Yeah, I am breathing. They are not even observant about the breathing. You tell them to do a little movement of the legs. We tell them do it right, rotation. Rotation doesn't happen, it goes like this. Why? The coordination of the body is totally out. This coordination between the body and mind has to be brought for the person to be in harmony. You understood? If you are not in harmony with the body and the mind, how can you give harmony to others? So you are drinking or smoking or getting into habitual conditions of so many things because you are not in harmony within you. So yoga is the intricate aspects of the knowledge that helps a person to coordinate within him the body and the mind. So you decide on certain things with a clear balance or outlook. In outlook. Thereby that knowledge is yoga. You understood? To achieve that, you can do it with Hatha Yoga practice. Because in Hatha Yoga, whenever we do stretches, our mind is totally with the point of stretch, the breathing and the counting. 75% of your flexibility will come automatically. 25% only the body has to do.
Would it be right if you say that yoga is the mantra for a body?
Yoga is the life mantra for the body. For a human personality as such. Not body, body is only half. Mind and body. Yoga is the life mantra for every human personality, because it is the knowledge or the core essence or the manual of a human personality. So whether, as you said, in Hong Kong, people should become more and more, now awareness is developing. If you observe, more are shifting to the good forms of food. All these things are there. So knowledge about, so whenever, if you see, the beauty in yoga is, it is more universal in concept, acceptable, and it is applicable to every human being, because body, breath, mind, understanding ultimately is all the same.
Now if you look into the educational system, there's always a relationship between economics and management, finance and accounts. In a similar manner, what is the relationship between stress And why does it lead to diabetics and depression? Of course, there are several other diseases connected to it.
Yeah.
But the common disease that is eating up the world nowadays is diabetics and depression to some extent.
Yeah. It's a very good question actually, which is more relevant to the modern world. Actually, if you see, there are major three types of diabetes if you see. One is we take more of sugar or sweets and chocolates and all these things. We go on eating more. What happens is the body is made up of 80% alkali and 20% acid. Sugar, white sugar specifically, is acidic by content because of the processing that it undergoes. Now, every time we take a white sugar, let us say we are not bothered about the drinking of tea or a coffee or chocolate, you go on accumulating sweets. So the body gets the sugar and the pancreas is not able to balance it by the secretion of insulin. Excess sugar rests in the body, and as we get the symptoms when the pancreas can't reach the stage to accordingly release the insulin, we land up with excess sugar and we call it as diabetic. Now you go to the doctor, doctors will say, what's your A35? It's okay, now you take a small tablet. Tablet goes on increasing day by day. Finally you add on, then doctors may say, you have to now better take insulin directly instead of disturbing the pancreas. That's one aspect of it. The second aspect of diabetic, if you observe, pancreas has two functions. One is, in the normal functioning, the normal mode, if you observe, it does the secretion of insulin and takes the glycogen to all the different cells of the body for its function. Now let us say the managing director has a secretary. When the director is in the normal functioning, secretary also does all the normal works, everything. Now he is in an emergency, sometimes he's wanting to travel and some meetings, so she leaves all the other normal functions and goes to support him to finish the job. So what happened? The normal functioning is all in a standstill. Now, usually in our day-to-day life, if you observe, morning I have to get up by 5:30 in the morning. If I get up at 5:30 in the morning, I can finish in the normal mode everything, and by 6:30 I can leave my house. I am comfortable, I can go and do my job. Late night was there, and this day morning, instead of getting at 5:30, I am tired, I see the watch, it is almost 5:20 only. 10 more minutes, let me sleep. Sometimes we think. This 10 more minutes goes on up to 15 minutes or 20 minutes or half an hour. Then you get up, you have shifted from the normal mode to the emergency mode.
No, this normally happens with me.
Yeah, this emergency mode. Now in the emergency mode, you get up, immediately you are running here, there, preparing food, or if you are preparing food, then everything is in a rush. So the poor pancreas, instead of creating or manufacturing the insulin, stops its functioning. It goes to trigger the adrenal glands situated above the kidneys to release the glycogen for emergencies. The fight and flight mechanism. Now you get into the car, traffic jam, you're already late, you go, reach your office, the persons are already waiting, some have already left. See, throughout from morning till evening till night, you are stressed up because of certain situations, wherein the poor pancreas is always in the emergency mode. So what happens, its time is totally exhausted of this emergency mode, where it doesn't get time to create the insulin, and we land up with the second type of diabetes due to stress. It's not because pancreas can't function, because your mind is always operating with tension. Today, the modern world is suffering because from morning till night, if you observe, all are in this state. Not in the normal mode, emergency mode. That's why they don't hear properly, don't listen properly, can't understand things. You tell them, sometimes you have to tell 10 times. Many times I have seen courier people, then so many, they ask, where is your location? I am telling the same thing 5 or 10 times, still they are asking, where is it? Why? Listening capability is not there, it's not relaxed. Totally on the emergency mode. This is what destroying the modern man because of stress or not able to face. So this is where we need to observe and help. Because another thing you talked about, depression. Depression, as I previously told you, depression is again a system of non-able to accept things. Non-acceptance, sometimes many people, if you observe, they'll end up not only with depression, with cancers also. Because certain situations they take in their life, that they don't want to hurt others, others should not feel the pain, and I should not give pain to others. So I start eating myself. They take everything into there, they don't talk. Finally a stage comes, they are not even talking. And what happens? You are actually creating a chemicals into the system to destroy your own cells. This is what is cancer. You understood? It's again a state of mind. That's why I say he is not smoking, he doesn't drink, he is not having any vices. Why he is having cancer? Mind. It creates. So this is the reason. The reason is here. That's why yoga is the essence of knowledge for managing oneself. I hope that you understood that. Yeah.
We now come to the end of the episode. In our next episode, we'll bring you more action combined with yoga. Thank you and goodbye.